Hello Tarot Rebels and welcome to today's video. My name is Michaela from Tarot Rebel and I'm super happy to see you joining us today. I saw this tag, so if you're wondering what's up with the mess on the table, I saw this tag on YouTube started by Anna Astral Lady Tarot, and her question was, what makes you a cliche tarot reader? So basically you go through a checklist and see if that question fits you or not. I really love the idea. I thought it was a really fun thing to film, and I've also seen a couple of other videos which I will link in the description box down below. So I will be including what you see here in my video. I hope you like it. I would love to see your comments if you have any, what other decks you've thought of when it comes to this kind of situation, and what do you prefer. And in the meantime, I'll just clean this up and see you in the video. So first things first, the first question is, do you have more than one version of the deck? Of a deck? So yes, the question, I can answer this with a firm yes. So I have the Centennial, which I always use as a comparison deck in my walkthroughs and in my reviews. I have the Radiant, which is one of the first decks I've bought. I wasn't sure about this, but I really appreciate the smaller size of it. As you can see, it's really tiny. The only thing I really dislike about this, as the time goes by, the edges become really matte and stuffy and quite difficult to shuffle, but it's still like a pretty deck, nice art, doesn't scare anyone. Like, some people are put off by, let's call it, very aggressive art. So yeah, this was my first deck when I started reading tarot. I was doing cartomancy before, so this was my first tarot deck. This was, I don't know, I think my 20th, I don't know. I've had it in multiple occasions and I've really enjoyed it. And I also recently I got this classic back. I still have some stuff in it which I never used. Oh, fun. I have the Tower card at the bottom of the deck. It's one of the cards I am pretty much annoyed because of a personal situation with another deck, but yeah, here we go. So this is the deck I have more than one version of, because I don't know, it's just such a classic and everyone uses it, and it's so easy to carry in a bag. And if I lose any of them, I'm not really bothered by any of it. I can lose them and replace them. They're cheap. You can always find them at any given store. It's not really a problem. The quality is nice. They're made by US Games, all of them. As you can see, shuffling is nice. The quality is consistent through and through, so I'm not really bothered by any of this. It's just, I don't like the boxes. I don't like the little white book. I'm not particularly fond of the design, of the classic design, but as I said, it's the most recognizable design. Everyone knows it. No one gets scared if they see the Rider-Waite classic deck in any shape and form. So these are solid tools in my practice. Okay, moving on to do you own any backup decks? And the answer is yes, and it wasn't intentional with any of the decks. So let's just put the Sasuraibito aside. I have 2 copies of the Da Vinci Enigma Tarot. One of them I bought it from a seller on Amazon, and when I received a copy, I have one missing card, and one, I think the Ace of Air was doubled. So I tried to replace it. I tried to contact the Caitlin Matthews and the publisher to see if I can get a replacement. Caitlin said she cannot help me, which fair enough. I really appreciated the help and the response. And then the publisher never replied to my email, which understandable. I think this deck was created ages ago. I don't think it says here. But yeah, I contacted them. They didn't tell me. I just wanted something artsy. I never used it. But then I found another copy, which was the whole copy of the deck, so I bought it. So now I have 2 copies of the deck, one I cannot use and one I can use. And I've been thinking of doing maybe an art project with a copy I cannot use, or maybe printing that image. Funny enough, it was the same card. The Tower card was the one that's missing in my deck, and the Ace of Air wasn't. I had the double version of the Ace of Air. So that's one of my decks, my double decks. And the other one is the Tarotube Tarot. So as I said, this was also unintentional. I have the 6th edition and the 7th edition. Initially I bought the 7th edition from Little Red Tarot, I think it's called, the shop. I bought so many times stuff from them, and now I'm just like completely out of my mind, and I cannot remember the name of the shop. But the lovely ladies at that shop, they had this copy of the 7th edition of the Tarotube Tarot with a slight minor factory defect, and I said it's fine. They did say in the ad, in the listing, that they will replace the missing card, because it was the same situation. One of the cards was missing and another one was a double, and I didn't know what card it was. It was the 5 of Wands was missing, and I have like a special relationship with the 5 of Wands. And I got super emotional when I saw that actually one of my favorite cards in the world was the one that was a bit out of place, because the 5 of Wands, let me see if I can find it. It's a bit shorter, it's a bit skinnier than the other one. The other cards, let me see if I can find it. I don't know why I'm so clumsy today. Let's see if I can find it like this. Maybe. No, it's the King of Wands. Oh, it was actually the last one. So, I don't know if you've seen my walkthrough, but I'm just gonna try and show you like this. There's a slight difference. I hope you can see it. It's minor, but I can see that card anywhere, basically. So, as I said, I got super emotional, and I was thinking, well, sorry for the noise. Well, I really like the deck. I really like the feel of it. The quality of it is nice. And also because of the 5 of Wands, I'm just going to be emotionally connected to it all the time. And I've used it a couple of times, but I feel like it's my deck and I should use it only on myself. So I saw on eBay this copy of the 6th edition, and I snatched it, and I was like, oops, that's mine now. And there are some slight differences. I really don't mind them anyway. My copy is like a really well-maintained second-hand copy. You can see the gilding chipped off a bit, but not too much. The cards are amazing, same art. There's no difference in the art. It was just my personal preference, because I didn't want to use this deck, and I bought this as a copy to use and replace my old one, because this one sits now with my Marielle Tarot and my Margaret Peterson, and I'm not using it for anything but personal readings for myself. So this is why I have two of the same decks. Moving on, do you have any tattoos that relate to tarot? No, I don't. I really like looking at people who have tattoos that relate to tarot. I am in a couple of tarot groups, and sometimes people ask for inspiration or ideas to see what they should like get as art on their bodies, and some of them are really nice and I really appreciate it. It's just I'm not a tattoo kind of person myself. I think of myself as being very boring, basically, and I don't think I'm that kind of person. I don't see myself, just as much as I don't see myself wearing athleisure it's not my kind of thing. Tattoos are not my kind of things. Not even piercings. I only wear jewelry every once in a while. I only have like two piercings in my ears, and that's it, the standard ones, because as I said, I'm super boring. Would I consider getting a tarot tattoo? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what card I would get, what message would that be. I really like elemental tattoos, like very simple fine lines, or maybe poke work. I don't know what's it called, like the floweries, the poke stick kind of situation. But again, this is not something that ever interested me, so it's kind of difficult to say, oh yes, I would get the sun card. I'm saying sun card, but that's like the worst card of the deck for me. I hate it. Well, hate is a strong word, but you get the point. It's not a card I enjoy seeing. So yeah. Next question. Do you drink tea? Actually, no, I don't drink tea. I'm a coffee lover, and this is my favorite mug. It's a Harry Potter mug, which I got from Amsterdam ages ago, and it says here, together they make one. And Master of Death on the other side. And I also use tarot coasters. I know this wasn't part of the question, but this is my favorite one. It's the devil, and I really like the design. I bought this from Etsy a couple of years ago, I think. And I use the devil one because it's my sign, the devil card, Capricorn. So I use the devil one. If someone visits me, they get either the death, the strength, or the high priestess coasters, because it's a set of 4. So no, I don't drink tea. Not that I don't like it, it's just I'm more of a coffee person than anything else. So yeah, that's it. So I had to clear the space because the next question is very obvious. Do you have any crystals, and do you pair them with tarot? Yes, I do have crystals. I have loads of these kind of towers. I really like them. I have them set up in my office space. Some of my favorite ones are the towers. I have a couple of palm stones like this. I do like this peach selenite piece. I have loads of amethyst pieces like this. What else? Oops. This selenite tower I got ages ago, and I love it. This amethyst heart, cute. This is my favorite crystal of all. These two, maybe. If I go somewhere, I always get the 2 of them. I also have this bowl of stuff, which I also wear a lot of rings. So this is a labradorite ring, and I also have this snowflake obsidian ring. They're silver. I really like wearing this pyrite stone. I got this crystal from a seller I bought a tarot deck from. This is again one of my favorite necklaces. I know it's not technically very witchy because it's super dainty and nice, but this is a moonstone, and I really like moonstones. I have this one as well, which I sometimes carry with me, but I also wear this. This is a brown moonstone bracelet, and this is a chakra bracelet. I also have loads of silver and some. This is my favorite ring, which is a garnet, and I also have another pyrite ring for when I feel a bit needy in terms of money, and I have loads of other smaller stones, and in my office I have some other stuff as well. Not really sure how to pair your crystals, because there's no recipe for pairing your deck with your crystals. Usually I kind of feel drawn to reading with my pyrite necklace and my rings and my bracelets, and sometimes I add for flavor selenite or amethyst to my readings. And if I'm extremely emotional, I will get the rhodonite tower or the rhodonite palm stone as well. Tarot books. In terms of books that are actually tarot related, I do have the 78 Degrees of Wisdom. I know they look unused, but that's just because I like to keep my books very neat. Both of them are really amazing. I think they're a bit too much for a beginner, but if you have some experience, I would recommend both of them. This is a very interesting read. It's quite expensive, but it's a nice addition to the Deviant Moon Tarot deck if you have it. If not, it's just a nice walkthrough and see how Patrick's inspiration came to life and what's his interpretation of the cards, because the little white book that comes with the deck, it's not very full of information, let's call it that. This one I would totally recommend. There's also the Holistic Tarot by Annabelle Wen. If you don't know her, she's like a massive guru in all things tarot. I would be interested in getting the book, but it's massive and I don't think I'm emotionally prepared to have it sit on my shelf until I have the energy to pick it up. I also have some extra books that I picked up for my decks. I have the zine from Botan Tarot, which is really nice. I didn't brought it because I didn't think it would be as general as the Deviant Moon, let's say, or as general as the 78 Degrees. I also have the Fantastic Menagerie by Baba Studios book that comes as an extra to the deck. It's a really nice book. It's not mandatory to have them. It's just some nice to have. I do prefer to read the white books, the guidebooks that come with the decks, rather than buying something separate. I don't know why, don't ask me now why. I think these two are very encompassing when it comes to sharing knowledge and seeing different perspectives when it comes to tarot. And with the addition of the guidebooks, even the PDF ones, even the small ones, I think they're good enough. Oh, and I also bought a book. It still hasn't arrived, so the name of it evades me right now. But it has to do with my Brotherhood of Light deck, the 1964 edition. And I found someone recommended me to get this book from Amazon, which I'm not a fan of, but I did it. So I'm waiting for that book to come as an expansion of the deck, because the deck doesn't come with the little white book, but the amount of information in that extra esoteric guidebook, I think it will help with reading the deck. The next question is, do you have a tarot journal? And the answer is yes. What you see here is one of my first fancy tarot journals. I'm not going to show you everything. I've replaced the papers, but I sometimes use it, very rarely now, because I have better better journals that I use for my practice, and this is just kind of annoying. I know it looks good, I just don't like the system. I'm kind of regretful buying it, but it did inspire me to write really nice poetry based on tarot. So yeah, I don't do printouts. I don't do colors. I just pull a card, write what I think of it, how I feel about it, and I check the message again at the end of the day to see. I'm not gonna show you because it's personal, but I check the message at the end of the day to see how did that thing impact me in the day that passed, basically. Next question is, do you like shuffling? Well, it's very relaxing. I sometimes sit somewhere and just shuffle. I'm not good at riffle shuffling. I'm a decent overhand shuffler. Sometimes if you're looking at me, I'm just gonna stress out, and as you can see, I'm not good at that either. I'm just gonna become anxious and not shuffle well and drop all my cards and things like that. But I'm doing my best. I think riffle shuffling is a bit too extreme for me. It feels a bit intrusive for the cards, for the quality of them. I know some people do enjoy it, and I do appreciate the fact that that way the cards get shuffled and they get randomized better. I'm just using what I can, and I suggest everyone should do the same. I tried following tutorials. They don't work for me. I'm just clumsy that way. It's I don't want to stress myself by trying to shuffle in a way that's not mine, because this is a very soothing activity. Sometimes it's a very energizing activity. If I'm stressed and I do this, I get very positive vibes. If I'm not happy with how I shuffle, I just rearrange my deck from start to finish, and then I try to shuffle it again and see how I feel about it. So from my perspective, which way you do it, that's the perfect way to do it. There's no right, there's no wrong in terms of shuffling. You just have to do what you enjoy doing. When it comes to letting someone touching your cards, because I just mentioned the Sasurai Bito Tarot and the Mariel Tarot and the Margaret Peterson Tarot, those are very personal decks to me. But even the Truste Centennial Edition, right? Even this one, I usually don't like people touching my cards, because again, this is a very personal item to me. I will say it, I don't want someone else's energy attached to my cards or my crystals. I don't like people touching my crystals, my cards, or anything, basically. It's not just tarot, it's just I'm an only child, so I guess this is where it comes from. I'm just selfish that way. So no, not letting someone to touch my cards. Not just because of the energy, but also that because I've had people in the beginning touch my cards, and then I couldn't read with the cards anymore, so I had to cleanse them. And I just avoided. It's easier. Do you have fairy lights? Actually, I do. I do have fairy lights. I used to have some around my kitchen, but I have them in my bedroom, in my office. I still have some in my living room, but my problem is, because I'm such a lazy person, I never change the batteries, so they never work. I change the batteries when I put them on, and that's it. Probably I will change the batteries when I move to a new place and say, oh yeah, I do have fairy lights, which I can use if I want to. Candles. Well, I do have a candle here, which I haven't used in ages. Oops. I'm more of a incense kind of girl, so that's what I use mostly. I'm not a candle girl. I don't know why. I think it's the fire hazard the fire hazard, it's not something I'm willing to risk. It's not that I'm clumsy. It's not that I'm not paying attention to it. It's just the fact that I'm clumsy. I'm sure I will drop something or cause an accident in a way that's not ideal when it comes to fire hazards. Do you have a tarot table or designated space? Technically, no. This table here is my kitchen table, and this is where I film my stuff and do my readings if someone wants a reading. But if I read for myself, I usually read at my desk in my office. So unless I'm filming, I don't have a dedicated space. Do you have a tarot cloth? Yes and no. I do have tarot cloths. I never use them. Why? I just like the color of this table. I think it's nice, it's comfortable, it's relaxing for me at least. It's not too bright, it's not too velvety. I used to use velvet cloths for this, and it's not something I enjoy doing. I also have some special edition tarot cloths from various decks I purchased. I never use them. I also don't use tarot bags. I do want one from Peggy, but it's just the shipping cost to the UK. I think it's really not worth the trouble, and I usually don't use them. I have a couple of them and I store them together, but there's no tarot deck in them, so there's that. So I think that's it on my list. I hope you enjoyed my ramble. It was a really fun video to film. I would love to hear your thoughts in the description, in the comment box down below if you want. In the meantime, if you can show support by liking, sharing this video, leaving a comment, or subscribing, or all of them if that's what you want, that would be very much appreciated by the gods of the algorithm and me. I do appreciate that as well. Thank you so much, and I am Michaela from Tarot Rebel, and hope to see you real soon. Bye.